read some of this, and I'm going to let Troy vent because this is his wheelhouse, man. They say it's been a challenging summer for the tourism industry on Florida's first coast, with reports indicating a decline in visitor numbers across the state. Despite the St. Augustine Distillery being named Craft Distillery of the Year, which is awesome, but I don't know what it has to do with this story. I mean, it's not like the distillery brings in all the tourism. But it is a great honor, not taking anything away from it. Its CEO, Philip McDaniel, great guy, noted that business has not been as lively as expected. Over the past 6 months, the distillery has experienced a significant drop in visitors, with numbers down approximately 10 to 12%. Wow.
Yeah.
10 to 12% compared to the previous year. Additionally, the spending per visitor has decreased by 8 or 9%. And that's kind of typical, especially at this point in an election year, where people are just kind of holding their money close because they don't know what's going to happen after November.
Yep.
The decline in tourism, they say, is not isolated to the distillery, obviously.
Yeah. It's just you, Philip.
Philip says we're down, but everybody else is good. Yeah. The owner of the Kenwood Inn also expressed concerns to St. Johns County commissioners, hoping for a more prosperous fall and winter. Similarly, merchants on St. George Street observed noticeable reductions in downtown visitors. What are you seeing in the hotel industry, Troy?
Well, and our hotels are kind of strategically placed in the closest walking area. So when we're hit, that means everybody on the outside's hit even harder. And we're at, I'm surprised Philip's only at 9. I mean, we're in double digits in how far we're down in August and September. And it really did start probably in May. We started to see the decline. I mean, and I think what happened is the gas prices are starting to catch up with people, and they're like, hey, we just can't go. Food prices, cost of living, so much of these things are catching up. But there's also a Florida saturation that comes into play. We were one of the states that opened up the earliest.
Yeah.
So like we rocked it in 21. We did very well in 22. 23, we started to see a little bit of a balancing off, and in 24 is when we're taking the hit. So I think there's a little bit of Florida saturation involved. They're like, okay, we're gonna go someplace closer to home instead of go to Florida.
Right.
And I think that is a major factor. But if you have money, you travel. If you don't have money, you don't travel. And people don't have money. So
yeah,
I mean, that's kind of it's not just Florida. I mean, it is tourism in general all over the place. They're hurting in a lot of other places, even a lot worse than us.
That was what I was going to ask you.
We have a better product than most.
Yeah.
In St. Augustine, we have a better product than most because we have places like the distillery, we have the history, we have great restaurants, we have great music. So we have a better product than most. But we, like I said, our hotels are the closest to the center of town. If you Google St. Augustine hotels, it takes you to the Visitor Information Center, and we have the 3 closest hotels to that.
Oh, you're talking about St. Augustine,
yeah,
like the central location.
Yeah,
if
if you Google a town, it takes you usually to the center of town. You can Google Boston, it'll probably take you.
And then when it says 0.3 miles, that's from that point.
And that's how they kind of do that. So it really, we're at an advantage when it comes to those things. So we pick up a handful more than a lot of other people.
What cities do you look at for this comparison?
Well, I mean, the ones that we compare the best to are Savannah and Charleston, because they have the history similar to ours. It's a similar visitor experience. The weddings, October weddings look really good. October looks better, but we have to have a really good night of lights. I mean, it's not just the owners of these shops. You got to think the people that are in the restaurant industry, when there's not people here, the restaurants are empty, and they're having to, cut shifts and stuff like that. And then people aren't able to pay their bills. It all kind of spirals, in the tourism world, it all kind of spirals with the volume of people we have. And if the volume's off, it's gonna throw off everybody's bills.
Is it out of town advertising? Like, what is it? What needs to change? What is that draw for Nights of Lights?
I think it has more to do with the economy. We can't, we have to step up our marketing in slower times, and people are like, oh, we don't have the money, but that's the time you have to spend the money.
Correct.
To get it back.
Thank you for saying that.
And that's the most important part. And sometimes people don't understand, who's not in the business world. Oh, well, why are you spending this money on this? That's the time you're supposed to spend.
Right.
So,
that's the time you have to spend to stay alive. Yeah.
So cutting back marketing right now is not a good idea. You've got to hold on to it, because that's the only light you're going to have right now.
Yeah, but we'll get through it. We've been through it before.
Are there incentives and things for people to come here? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how do you get
for the visitor side. I mean, we just have the best product.
Yeah.
I mean, and you have to make sure people understand what your product is. What else is here? Like people, you talk to somebody on the street, like if you're in Chattanooga or something like that, you say, oh, I'm from St. Augustine. They usually know, oh, that's that old city.
Right. Yeah.
But they don't know what else we have to offer.
Yeah.
And the advertisement, the marketing has to say, hey, we're more than just history. We have a nightlife. We have a great culinary experience. We have beautiful beaches. We have like I said, we have a great product.
Yeah.
Selling St. Augustine's not that hard.
Okay.
So, and like I said, we're not as bad as a lot of other areas. We're in a recession.
Puts such a pressure on Nights of Lights, though. That's what I worry about. Y'all are going to be so stressed out just trying to pull people in.
Yeah, but we're in a recession, and people got to realize, a lot of people are, especially government, and all of a sudden, oh, FEMA's out of money. Well, you got us there.
True.
You got us there. A healthy economy, FEMA wouldn't be out of money.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Well, I mean, Nights of Lights is always a good boost for everybody. We've got things spaced out, and I think they've purposely done this throughout the years. We've got things spaced out, luckily, throughout the year that are big draws to St. Augustine. And Nights of Lights is definitely one of the biggest, if not the biggest, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, it's the most consistent boost we have. I mean, because it lasts, 60 days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the most consistent boost we have. And most of it's in November, December, and then a little bit of, we still do very well in January. But, and then the race week comes around, and then you got spring break and bike week and those things.
The Florida Man games.
Those all Florida Man games. All those things definitely help.
Yeah.
So, it usually falls off after Mother's Day, and it fell off. It didn't just fall off; it went off the cliff. So,
yeah.
I mean, my parking is down at the parking lot almost 26%.
Wow, that's a big number.
Downtown parking, and usually that's a reflection on the restaurants. So I think restaurants are hurting worse than what Phillips numbers are talking about.
Yeah.
So you're blaming the mothers on Mother's Day? Is that what you're doing?
Wow, that was a jump.
People, that's exactly what that means.
The moms partied so hard. That's it.
Yeah, moms partied. So
that's your
big moms weekend. And then
Father's Day, they just were done. They're still recovering. Yeah.
Let's leave the consulting work to Troy.
It was one of those things where it was like me with shrimp. I just had too much bad shrimp, and it left a bad taste in my mouth.
Right.
And now I can never eat shrimp again. Moms had way too much St. Augustine. They had a hangover for a month, and now they're like, you know what? No more St. Augustine.
No, it's just when it's about the time people stop, either after Easter or Mother's Day around that same time. It's not just us. It's countrywide. They're seeing these effects where people are just, they're holding on to their dollars.
They have to.
There's an unpredictability with the election.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could go either way, and they're like, okay, we got to hold on to it until we figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the market hasn't even been steady. It's been down. It's been up. It's been down. It's been up. So
Yeah. Somehow the stock market's still doing pretty well. The housing market is not.
Housing market isn't right. Yeah.
Even though interest rates just came down a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah, that might help. We can see if it turns, but nothing's going to happen until after November.
Yeah.
No big changes are happening until, because people are just like, I'll wait and see.
So you're saying you don't like pumpkin spice wartime election eclipse hurricane season at all? Like, it's not fun for you?
Yeah.
So it's just not fun for you?
Yeah, it's usually not the best for business.
That was a lot crammed in there.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what's going
There's
on
a
right
lot
now.
going on. Yeah, man.
Sing Out Loud helped us in September to kind of keep our head above water with the visitors there. I mean, it's a big enough event where it gave us a boost. Yeah, it's we got to turn the corner, and we will. So
yeah,
been through it before.
Oh yeah, totally. But one day we won't. We'll just be Daytona, and everybody will stop coming.
Nope.
But that's okay.
No,
One
not
day.
gonna happen. Not on my watch.
No, not on my watch.
Not happening.
Well, Troy won't be around forever, unfortunately. We wish he would be.
Don't make me turn on this carousel.
Oh my goodness, that's
I will smash that carousel.
Don't, it's a work
I will
of art.
smash that carousel.
They keep asking for us to bring it back. I'm not
Did
bringing it back
somebody
out.
hand make that carousel? Where did they get? No, they didn't.
Yes, there's a
Nobody
small tribe
handmade
of
that.
Iroquois Native Americans that put that
It's
together.
Oh, they don't like carousels.
Yeah, they said save it for
It's
Pete.
actually federally protected.
Beautiful.
And if they had the money to come arrest you,
Right.
they would if you smashed it.
Right. Luckily, the federal government's out of money.
They're gonna Shama the tribe, like in Beetlejuice, they'll sprinkle the thing over your head and you have the raisin head. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
gosh, that dude.
you don't want that.
No, I do not. Okay. Well, gas prices.
Oh boy.